Here are my 10 takeaways from Conference Championship Weekend. At number 10, Notre Dame had no shot at making the playoffs after last week's ranking reveal. I tried to warn y'all, there were a lot of people who resisted, but it was pretty clear that no matter what happened, they were going to be out. There should only be one college football playoff ranking show. It should be on Selection Sunday when they're actually revealing the bracket. By doing one every week starting week 11, they created all the outrage over Notre Dame's exclusion. Nobody would care that Miami's above them if there was just one ranking and they respected head-to-head, and instead, they create a whole mess for themselves. The group of five can't have anything nice. That might sound counterintuitive. They just got two teams in the playoffs. That's pretty nice. But the reason I say that is because they're definitely going to add a rule that prevents this in the future. There are already power conference teams and spokespeople that are furious that two group of five teams made it in, even though they built a mechanism that could allow that. This might seem a bit obvious, but Indiana should be the national title favorites right now. They're currently second in odds behind Ohio State, but I just watched Indiana whip on them at a neutral site and get the victory. They should be the favorites, and they're also the one seed. Their road is going to be a little bit easier than Ohio State and Georgia, who will have to go through each other. Summerall and Chesney are setting a phenomenal example. Both head coaches that have already accepted other jobs, but they're sticking it out this season despite the really messed up calendar and finishing the job with their current teams. That's not something that every head coach is doing. Conference title games are still broken. There's a lot of people outraged that Alabama didn't drop after losing in the SEC title game, but what would you have them do? Drop out and then the game that Alabama earned the right to play, that Texas A&M and Ole Miss didn't have to play, punishes them and makes them lose their playoff spot? It's still broken, it still makes no sense, and they still haven't fixed it. Fernando Mendoza deserves the Heisman Trophy. Based on Indiana's full body of work and what he's accomplished this whole season, I think it's an easy decision. The CUSA is in fact a glorified FCS conference. The fact that we've seen multiple FCS programs come into that conference recently and just sort of run it from the start has been a little bit telling just in terms of the level of football that's being played there. Boise State going out on top of the Mountain West is appropriate. They dominated that conference from literally the moment it was created up until them leaving to the Pac-12 this season. The fact that they won even in a down year, it's very fitting. And finally, Duke winning the ACC is what that conference deserved this year. They were pretty awful for the most part. Their only redeeming team was Miami, but they got wrapped up in the chaos late in the season. Just too chaotic, too crazy, and a 5-loss team losing the conference, that's exactly what they deserved.